From the heart of Big Ten country, Los Angeles, California, Ryan Abraham and David Woods present the Podcast of Champions.
Welcome, everyone, back to the Podcast of Champions. I'm David Woods from Bruin Report Online, the UCLA site on the 24/7 Sports Network.
And I'm Ryan Abraham from USCFootball.com on the 24/7 Sports Network, of course. And we are here to talk some Big Ten football.
So the reason I was delayed is that your monitor is on a delay now. It never used to be.
Oh, the monitor's on delay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd give it a second and a half.
Wow. Okay. Well, I can work on that. We're here. We're back. We're talking all things Big Ten football.
That's right, baby.
And we do this once a week. We're going to continue to do it once a week. Is that the case? Unless we like.
I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
I believe in us.
We're back with my bookies. I think we're locked in now.
Yeah.
We get sponsors. Like, you got to go. We're going. And talking to Big Ten football. Not a ton. We want to talk about the coaches poll today. There's actually some traditions that are being changed for the defending national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. If you're going to change some stuff, David, do it after you win a championship, because what is there to complain about? You know, like what can you complain about? You won the title. Like,
so true.
Hey, we're going to change our colors to blue, and people will be like, I don't like that, but we're a national champ, so who cares? They're not doing that, but they're making some other minor changes. If you have questions for us, big10cast@gmail.com, or you can call or text us at 424-532-0678. We got 3 voicemails, and we got a handful of emails to get to, so that's going to be great. If you have Apple or Spotify, we would love to get a rating from you guys. We could get some kind of review, a rating. 5-star rating is awesome, and you can leave a review, I believe, now on both of those platforms. We also are live on our Podcast of Champions YouTube channel. We got people in the chat. Ask if you have questions, you can put them in there. We have a very good one from our good friend Matthew, Stanford fan. What am I doing here? Yes. Residuals, right? Like, he's coming over from the many years. See, Eric Quack, he was the old POC, but he's also part of their new POC.
Yeah.
Ernesto gives a little hello POC, which is how I introduced the USC show. Alex says poor clock management from Dan and Brian.
So true.
And Big Bro says, let's go.
We do have some reviews. Did we want to go over those?
Would love to go over the reviews.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have one from Earl and Torrance, best college football podcast. I'm assuming this review was intended for a different show. I was surprised to see this podcast is still going on. I watched on YouTube for the first time. Ryan is steady as ever, just a little grayer. David Woods has transformed himself to look like a real subject matter expert. The hairline now starts at his headphones, the beard is gray and close cropped. He even looks like he knows what he is talking about. Seriously, I've been listening since the first POC episode, 2014 or 15, and I am very happy that you have brought this entertaining experience to the Big Ten.
Oh.
That was just nice.
That's actually a really nice one. Like, not...
Yeah.
I thought
there'd be insults at least.
I was waiting for the hammer to drop.
Yeah, damn. This is from AP, not Associated Press. Back in the groove. I can't think of a more mediocre way to jumpstart the football season than to listen to the Podcast of Champions. Gentlemen, in honor of Big Ten Media Days at Las Vegas, can you rank the top 5 best poker faces among Big Ten coaches?
Poker face.
Jonathan Smith gives away nothing. Don't think he smiles.
Okay.
I think Lincoln Riley, you can always tell when he's being a pissy little bitch, so that's not a good poker face.
I wouldn't say.
Deshaun Foster's got a pretty good poker face.
All right.
Like,
I don't think Dan Lanning does. I think Dan Lanning is
Dan Lanning, he wears his emotions on his sleeve.
Yeah, so I think he's no. James Franklin, I think, would have he can get a little.
I'm thinking Shiano might have a good one.
Oh, yeah, Shiano, it's like,
Ryan Day, just because of the beard, but he's kind of an emotional guy himself.
He's kind of emotional.
I mean, he like after football games, he like sometimes scream cries to the reporter.
Yeah. I think Shiano for sure. Like
Matt Rule. Signetti?
Signetti, yeah, he'll
Because Signetti kills, and he'll kill at poker too.
Yeah, let me see if we got. Where do I have it? Yeah.
I don't
He
think
knows
Bird.
the score. He gets the women. Signetti kills.
Luke Fickle. It's another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not-
expressionless.
Not PJ Fleck.
No, not PJ Fleck. Not Sharon Moore. Yeah, I think we got a good smattering there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. I think that was it.
Sweet.
Yeah, there you go.
See, okay, this is if you're watching on YouTube, this is not a poker face, people.
No,
That
no.
is not that we're showing Dan Lanning for anyone listening on the podcast, and it's the funky one with the cigar in his mouth, and
Yeah. He looks like a villain from like the Batman television series from
yes,
the 1960s.
You should have like BAM or WOMP or whatever,
Yeah.
like written
Yeah.
and with a big explosion on the screen.
Correct.
That's what you should have. Okay, so what do we got? We got the coaches poll.
That's right, baby.
I know
It's
you-
exciting times. We love the coaches poll.
I know you love the coaches poll.
Stupid. Why are we even talking about this?
I don't know, because we need something to talk about, and you don't
So
have
true.
any.
So true. And actually, let's start here. Do you guys get access to USC football practice at all?
We've got to see actually 2 full practices, and then,
Are you kidding me?
but then we can't report on. We can. So they've had 7. We've been to 4. I think today would be the 8th, but so we've been to 4 of the 7. 2 of them just the like stretching and individual periods, and then we get kicked out. But we can take photos and videos of that. But then 2 of them, we got to watch the whole practice through. But after the individual part where we would normally stop filming, we're just not allowed to report on anything that we see.
So we are.
But it's
kicked
been
out-
actually helpful, though. I like that.
We go for 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
We can't take video. We can't take photos
During the 20 minutes, you can't?
during the 20 minutes.
Okay, that's stupid.
And that's all we get. And it's just stretch and individuals.
Yeah, we can. I mean, it gets boring to show video of stretching individuals the whole time.
But it's something.
It is something. And
Yeah.
I got some good photos. Like, you can get photos of players catching balls.
Anyway, if you're wondering why we can't talk about anything, it's because they shut down access for most of these programs these days.
Yeah, the USC's okay. I mean, they used to be great, and it's okay. Like, it's not horrible. And there will be an open scrimmage we'll get to watch.
Wow.
So I think there's 3 full practices we can watch, and it's good just to see like, oh, I thought that guy was going to be good, or he was going to push for playing time, and you're like, nah, I don't think so, or you're like, I don't know if that guy's going to be good. I'm like, oh, he looks pretty good, that kind of stuff. But no full.
Well, it makes sense for a program like USC to do that sort of thing because it doesn't have like a championship pedigree, and it's just trying to build interest and all that kind of stuff.
Just trying to get
UCLA being restrictive. Like that makes so much sense, right? Because
It's
they
like
don't need
Alabama,
there's nothing they need to
UCLA.
do to like build interest, make people engaged with the product before the start of the season. Maybe like I don't know, start building some new fans because so many fans they grow up in LA. What are they naturally? UCLA fans, right?
UCLA football fans and USC basketball
UCLA
fans.
football, USC basketball. These are the name brands in the city. And so it just makes so much sense for them to restrict as much as they can in the offseason.
Yes. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. That has been my argument the whole time is if you were in the old, so let's go Nebraska, Big Ten program, the whole state covers the university because that's the biggest thing in town. Los Angeles, you have a zillion other things going on. You can't close things off. If you closed off Nebraska football practice, and I don't know what Matt Rule's policies are. No, it's not going to stop anyone from covering the team. Every radio station, every TV station, you're going to be talking Nebraska football year round. I used to do radio interviews like in the off season when USC was in the top 20, so the Nebraska stations would call like, we want to talk college football like all year round. Like we don't get that in LA. But if you close things off, like that KTLA, videographer guy that does stuff for Channel 5 in LA, like he'll go somewhere else. You got to like open things up. If they can't go to UCLA practice and get any B-roll, like they're probably not sending a reporter out. You're probably not getting a report from camp.
Nobody really cares about this stuff, so I'm not going to belabor it too long.
Yeah.
But like it's part. So one is there's 2 separate things going on, which is coaches getting paid more and getting more paranoid, like in like a direct correlation.
Yeah.
The other one that's been ongoing for probably 20 to 25 years is athletic departments wanting to do more of their own coverage in-house and have it be basically managed media instead of outside media covering stuff. And so that's why, like UCLA, for example, they're producing these like fall camp videos, these like hype videos and all that kind of stuff. Well, last I checked, that hype video had like 500 views. And it's like, look, if I had access to this program, I would probably publish that video on my website. But I'm not going to do that because you're restricting my access anyway.
Yeah.
So you can do your best job promoting it without my help, you know?
I know.
And so it's just like that stuff where it's like, this could be, it's sports journalism. This isn't Woodward and Bernstein. This can be like a symbiotic relationship. It does not need to be adversarial. Like if you suck, I'm going to say you suck. But if you're good, I'll say you're good. Yeah. And if it's in the margins, that's where you can win me.
Right.
Like it's
really
simple. You're
not going to get me to say, oh, they're really good when they suck. But yeah, if it's close, you're like, I can lean that way, whatever.
Yeah.
I think schools see that. Even like at USC back in like the mid 2000s, I think they saw like the success a site like mine was having. They wanted to do their own like premium, like subscription based thing. And I if I remember correctly, it was going to be like a Matt and Reggie blog, like Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush. And they might have did like one entry and then like that was it. And you don't understand, like trying to get college athletes, especially star athletes, to do something is like nearly impossible. Even retired ones, they're not, these guys aren't used to like grinding and doing stuff. You don't put up one thing and people like sign up for it. You have to like do stuff every day. Like people sign up for our websites because they're there every freaking day, new stuff all the time, not once a month or whatever. And they just, that didn't work very well. But that was early, try to be state media or whatever.
Yeah.
That did not work.
Well, what would be smart for them is actually to buy up our sites and make them like, professional soccer league fan clubs, essentially. And, have it be like part of the like fee to get into games or whatever is you also get this thing.
Oh, I like it.
I love it.
Eric says on the chat, any chance on practices becoming more open and injury disclosures being mandatory as the sport becomes more professionalized? And he goes on to say, not the LA schools, but plenty of smaller college areas would attend. No, I know a lot of USC fans that would love to come to practice and stuff. Like,
I mean, UCLA, if you go back to the Mora era, they would have fall camp out in San Bernardino and fans would be lining the fields watching practice. Like people, I think they're crazy, but they like going to practice. And I mean, like we do it as a job. And so it becomes a slog after, practice one. But for fans, like you're going to one, maybe two the entire fall camp. So it's like an excursion. But anyway, as for the other part, practice becoming more open and injury disclosures being mandatory, I don't know. I don't know why the NFL does that, but I don't know that the same structures are in place for anything like that, even if you did have an organizing body at the college level, which you currently don't. I mean, it would have to be dictated by the conferences at this point, and the Big Ten's relatively media friendly, but I don't know if it extends to forcing coaches who are paranoid freaks to have their practices open. Yeah,
the paranoia is at an all-time high, and I think it's going to be something mandatory after that. But I think for the NFL, you're getting, they're already the big dog, and they're getting fan interest. I mean, having Dallas out here in Oxnard, that's been a tradition. Like it's sort of like spring training for baseball, where they're just like, hey, let's get everyone excited for the start of the season. And college football has been sort of not, averse to any of those kind of moves. So, yeah, it kind of sucks, but I'd like to see it more open. I mean, used to be hundreds of fans coming out to watch USC football practice in the Pete Carroll era. Like they had a lot of fun. Like
there were spring practices with Mora where I think they had 1,000 people around Spalding Field, and there's no place to sit at Spalding Field, so that's pretty impressive. Like they had the sidelines full of just people.
You got to be like 10 deep or something.
Yeah, it was like borderline dangerous.
Let's go back to borderline.
Let's go back to borderline dangerous. Yeah. We like to live dangerously. Anyway, coaches poll.
Oh, coaches poll. Let's go in there. So I'm going to go through. Let me pull up what we got. So in number 2, we have
the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Number 3,
Oregon Ducks.
Nope. In the coaches poll?
Yeah. Are you not?
Am I looking at the wrong coaches poll that has Penn State number 3?
Oh my God, I am so sorry. Number 3. I wrote that
Penn
down wrong.
State Nittany Lions.
Number 7.
Number 7. Yes, we have.
Oregon Ducks.
Number 12.
Yes. Number 12, we've got.
Illinois Fighting Illini.
Hi, I'm from Illinois.
Number 14.
Michigan Wolverines.
Wow, scratch.
Number 19.
19, we have.
Indiana Hoosiers.
Hey, folks. I'm from Indiana.
Coming in at number
He knows the
29.
score. He gets the women. Signetti kills.
I just had to put that in there.
Coming in at number 29. Wow.
USC Trojans.
Coming in at number 33.
Iowa Hawkeyes.
Coming in at 39.
39, we've got. Where is it?
Washington Huskies.
That's wrong.
Yep, you skipped one.
39 is.
Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Right, yes.
I'm peeling corn.
Coming in at 41.
Washington Huskies.
We got one
Coming in at 46.
Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Oh, yeah, baby.
more. Okay. So it's a lot.
Well, it's important to get all the way to number 46 because the coaches poll is a scientific measure, and it's important to look at all the teams that have votes because these are the only teams that have value this season in college football.
Yeah. Thoughts on that? I mean, obviously, Penn State, so much coming back. The model is very similar to Michigan 2 years ago and Ohio State last year. Bring most of your dudes back, add some stuff, get better where you need to. And both those teams made a run and won the title. A lot of people projecting Penn State. I don't know. I probably would have them ahead of Ohio State. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we had them ahead of Ohio State when we were doing our win totals. So yes, I would say Penn State for sure. I'm really intrigued by Oregon. They're down to 7, but I really don't know. I really don't. I think they could be like mid-teens, or they could just be, continue to roll. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued by Dante Moore and how that all works out. They could make the playoffs still. I just don't know. I really don't know with Oregon this year.
Yeah. Indiana's probably the one that stands out to me. Like, they just had a great year, but so much of this, if you're just going to like roll over what happened last year, I don't know, like that's like a 9-3 Indiana team if you're going to be ranked there, right? Like, I don't know. I'm not expecting. What was our over-unders for Indiana? They were
8.5.
8.5. Yeah. So this would be over. You had it over, so that makes sense to you. I had them under. I obviously love Signetti. I mean, he's a rock star, but I don't know. That seems a little high for the Hoosiers for me.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't mean a ton. I mean, the AP poll means more. Or where you fall on, some of the people wanting to get rid of preseason polls. I mean, it gives us something to talk about.
People have been saying that literally for decades that they want to get rid of preseason polls.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, you can. I think you could get rid of the coaches poll
it's just
at
dumb.
any point because it's just stupid.
Yeah, it's like Associated SIDs.
The Associated Press poll, the AP poll, the reason that one I think still has value is that not every writer, but most of the writers take it kind of seriously, unlike the SIDs who vote in the coaches poll. And 2, it updates with the times. So like the AP poll, a lot of the people, when they explain their rationales in their little columns about why they picked the way they picked, they'll say, oh, I use this metric system, or I use that, that ranking system, and then, made judgment calls based on X, Y, or Z. And it's like, okay, you're getting a measure that's, I won't say it has like super great predictive value, but it probably has better value than the coaches poll. And if you're the reason all those metric systems use preseason weights and that they keep them in there is that it has predictive value. And so if the AP poll is, aligning at least somewhat with certain metric systems when it's created, then it does continue to have value into the course of the season. So I don't think there's a great argument for just doing away with it entirely.
Yeah.
I think if you start tabula rasa, you end up with some strange things because there's like random years where like BYU goes 11-0 to start the year. Are they actually that good? And if you just base it off of tabula rasa, well, they're undefeated.
Yeah.
So what do you do? I think weighting things from the beginning with some sort of like, okay, here's the baseline, and you can go from here. I think that's fine. And I think the AP actually does a fairly good job of adjusting as things go.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like the basketball poll is not as good usually because it'll just be like move them up 2 spots or down 2 spots depending on what they do. But football, I think they've done a pretty good job of like if somebody shows up and they're crazy good in the first 3 or 4 games, they'll start to skyrocket pretty quickly.
Yeah. And they're, brands get more weight, if it's just one of those things where some teams will get the benefit of the doubt.
But as they should. Like it's if you're consistently good, you should be.
You get the benefit of the doubt.
Well, it's not even just benefit of the doubt. It's there's track record here.
Yeah. And I think they're giving Indiana, a good bump from how successful that season was last year and making the playoff and all that. So
yeah,
I just don't think they're going to be as good this year, but he'll probably prove me wrong. So we'll see. I was very high on Indiana last year. And this year I was like, I don't know. I think that's schedule. Everything sort of kind of worked out. And I don't know if you're going to boat race some of the teams that they boat raced last year, but we will see. All right. There's also this, Ohio State.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
You win a natty, and they were going to make some changes. I can pull up. We had a story on 247. Our guy Patrick Murphy. So they're doing something called Tradition Evolved, and it's called a bold new innovative design to honor the past while energizing the future. So Ross Bjork put out this thing. So there's a lot of like these changes to the tradition. So I think hosting the playoff game last year, they got some ideas from that, and they want to make a better like fan experience overall. I've been there. I mean, last time I was there was 2009, but it was pretty cool. So they're doing some different things. The Victory Bell, they're going to have a pregame ringer of the Victory Bell, and Archie Griffin's going to do it. I think to open this season. It's the 50th anniversary of his Heisman Trophy year, or one of them. But before they used to do it where you only rang the bell if you won. They also do, I think it's Hang On Sloopy, what they would sing after the third and fourth quarter. So like Michigan does Mr. Brightside, I think. And they're going to have the band play some different songs at that point. So I think those are two of the points that some of the fans were upset about. But I looked on the message board for Bucknuts, and it just didn't seem like there was that much outrage of that. But there's a bunch of different things, trying to make, put a better fan experience. Obviously a lot of people go to the games, but they're just trying to make it a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I was reading the message board for Ohio State correctly a couple of times last year, I think there's some general consternation with the, and this is actually common throughout a lot of fan bases, with the age of the fan base and not being energetic at games. And so I think, it sounds weird because it's, mostly sold out stadiums and yada, yada, yada. But everyone has their kind of fan base issues. They're just at different degrees. UCLA and USC, it's getting people to show up to the games. But Ohio State, it's getting them to be loud at games. Create that true home field advantage. So, yeah, good on them.
And they're going to ring the bell on third downs, which I think USC and UCLA both do for the Victory Bell, right? Like or I forget when they ring.
You're asking me about something that I couldn't give less of a shit about.
Okay, but they're going to do that. They're going to have some towel. They're going to give out 100,000 towels for the Texas game. Interesting. So a bunch of different stuff. The best damn band in the land will perform from the north end of the stadium. So original pre-2001 home. So they're going to try to move premium seating and stuff. So they're just kind of changing the that. But Hang On Sloopy will be a staple, but it says the band will have more freedom to decide when to play it. So it doesn't have to necessarily just be I think between the third and fourth quarters.
All right.
So did a bunch of stuff there, so you can check it out. I don't know. I thought when I originally read a couple tweets, it seemed like a little bit more outrage, but then I read like the message boards and it was like, all right, that seemed to be fine. Yeah, let me pull up this one. This was yeah. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Any thoughts on?
No, I don't care.
You don't care? Like you don't care about like traditions and
No.
you don't.
I do not care that they're giving out 100,000 towels at Ohio State games.
100,000 towels. That's a lot of towels.
That's a lot of damn towels.
Oh, Eric had a comment. Let me pull it up here for you guys. Heard they're going to experiment with cloud seeding so they can simulate a night atmosphere for their customary noon kickoffs. Yes, that was what some of the comments were like. Can we get the hell out of big noon games? Like, stop being so freaking good, and then it won't pick you for big noon all the time. There should be some sort of.
We're going to block out the sun permanently so we can play night games.
That's very Mr. Burns. I could see that happening. Cool. All right. We got a bunch of questions, so maybe we should just take a little break.
Yeah, let's go to questions.
And go to some questions. Back in a minute, everybody. All right, we're back here on the Podcast of Champions. We are live on our little YouTube channel. We love when you guys are joining us live, and you can put comments in there. Questions too. I have one question starred. If you have a question, just put it in the chat, and I will start, and we'll get back to it at some point. We do have a lot or several emails, but we have like one of our favorite callers. And we have a lot of them, but one of our favorites left a couple voicemails. So I'm going to play them for you back to back. Here's the first one.
Hello, Ryan. Hello, Sith Lord Dave. That's right, it's me, this resident Rutgers fan. You know, I wasn't going to call again. I said I wasn't going to do this. Boundaries, I said, boundaries. You can't go back after someone has dumped you. Oh, I heard 2 episodes ago. I heard the long rambling, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll be able to, maybe in the future we could try to incorporate some of the former back. Well, I got dumped. We got dumped. I know what happens. It's not the first time. Probably will surprise you. I know what it feels like to be broken up with unceremoniously. Just casually. Not even any feeling in it. And I'm looking at you, David Woods. You have the empathy of a shoehorn. For fuck's sake.
Sorry, Griffin.
Sorry, little kid that listens. Anyway, been really busy this summer as a result. I had to work out some strong feelings. But more importantly, I just wanted to talk about how do you think the Rutgers defense going to shape up this year? I mean, it was a little bit spotty at times last year, and wanted to look at defensive production and what do the advanced analytics say? Keep it mediocre, boys.
Nice. One more.
All right.
It's been 7 hours and 15 days since you took your love away. I go out every night and sleep all day since you took your love away. Since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can cheer for whomever I choose. Nothing can stop you.
That's all there was. He couldn't keep going.
Nothing compares. Nothing compares to you.
Yeah, pretty good. Sinead O'Connor there.
Yeah, I thought so.
She passed away a couple years ago.
Did she?
Yeah, like some heart thing or something.
Huh.
She was like popular and then like ripped up a picture of the Pope like on Saturday Night Live. That didn't go well for her.
Pope had it coming.
The Pope had it coming. Great stuff from our Zodiac Killer. Let's see. Rutgers has,
Their defense will be all right.
they're 5.5. They're 5.5 games over under. Where did you do? I picked the over, Mr. Zodiac Killer. David picked the under. So if you want to visit one of us for a late night rendezvous with shiny, sharp objects, I would say you should visit David. That's what I would say. But
Probably fair.
is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Oh,
Look at that. So we get like two favorite things. We got Zodiac Killer and a super chat from Colt. Dave, most of the future non-con games for UCLA are in California or Hawaii. Is this the future? No more fun non-con trips? Happy you guys are back on a schedule.
thanks for the question, Colt. I won't say never, but I do think they will be rarer. If you've been paying attention, Georgia went off the schedule. Obviously, Rutgers went off the schedule, and they've come back on semi-regularly. I think if you're going to see non-conference games against former Pac-12 teams, potentially, you'll see Stanford, you'll see Cal. You might see, Arizona and ASU at some point. You're going to see Utah, obviously. But I don't see... Because the two parties have to both be willing. And so if you're trying to see, UCLA versus, I don't know, any SEC school, that seems unlikely at a big away game, maybe at a neutral site. Maybe the ACC would want to at some point, but the ACC might still blow up here very soon. So this is a point of some disagreement, I think, with Ryan and I. I think we're continuing down a bad path where non-conference is going to get more uninteresting the further we go down. It will be, a lot of the coaches call it the preseason. It will truly be the preseason where it does not matter if, it becomes all auto bids for the playoff and the playoff expands to 14 or 16 or whatever. So, yeah, I think maybe it takes a different form at some point, but as of now, I don't see a whole bunch of those trips being scheduled.
Gotcha. I kind of feel like as TV becomes more important, like they're going to rather not have some of those like November FCS games in the SEC. They'd rather have better out-of-conference games and things like that. So, I don't know. I think this is all adjusting and things are changing. But those are great ones, the trips. But I think when you play in the Big Ten, there's so many other teams that you're going to get some great road trips. That's not was it Pullman every other year or something? Like, no, but you might go to the Horseshoe every 5 or 6 years. And so that becomes kind of like an out of conference game. So there's some aspect of it. Having such a big conference, it's not like you're getting the same road trips that you could take an hour flight to like you used to be able to do.
No, exactly.
We did have a comment. I just fast forwarded through the last 2 minutes to get here winning. That was kind of a show. Like, the Zodiac Killer's stuff is great. So I'm not.
So true.
And maybe are we the only ones that think it's great? I think other people like it. Let us know in the chat. Are you a fan of the Zodiac Killers? Voicemails, like we were literally crying. Mesro99 was not a fan. So that's okay.
I don't know. You're taking a lot from it. I don't even know what I just fast forwarded through the last 2 minutes to get here winning means. It could mean he just didn't want to hear me sing at the end of the Zodiac Killers.
Oh, maybe it could have been that. But it sort of came like right in the moment of like you just skipped the voicemails. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe my apologies if I misinterpreted that.
He doesn't want to directly insult the Zodiac Killer anyway, for obvious reasons.
Like David picked the under on Rutgers 5.5. So it says no bowl game for Rutgers. I wouldn't want to be sleeping in his bed. Just, the way that things go. We have another voicemail, but should we do some emails?
We should do some emails. I will start with Gondo and Duckland.
Yeah.
Disney meets the Pac-12. Ryan and David. Right there with you on trying to come to grips with my beloved Pac-12 teams playing Midwest teams I just can't get jazzed about. For the record, I live in Eugene, and I will admit the one highlight of last year was watching the Ohio State fans show up and drink the town dry. Given the show's occasional forays into the world of Disney, combined with the PTSD of losing the Pac-12, I have a thought experiment for you. Suppose Disney allowed you to create a Hall of Pac-12 in which you get to pick anywhere from 5 to 10 coaches and or players to talk about what the Pac-12 was and just be generally wildly entertaining. Who do you pick, and what would you have them talk about? Keep it mediocre, just like we love you guys for. Gondo in Duckland. A Hall of Pac-12 has to include, you got to have Mike Leach for entertainment value.
This is the talk about the conference in general?
I guess.
Okay. So you and me first.
Obviously us first.
Right. Mike Leach, I think, is up
They
there.
said coaches or players.
Did he say coaches or players?
Coaches and or players.
Okay.
So Mike Leach, you got to have him.
Yeah.
You got to get a, I
think Rick Neuheisel.
Rick Neuheisel would be great. And are we including the Pac-10 or just the Pac-12? I guess just the Pac-12, right?
Oh, we could do 10.
Okay. Well, if you're doing Pac-12, you got to have Leach, you got to have Neuheisel, you got to have David Shaw. And then at that point, it's sort of like a dealer's choice.
I think, like Pete Carroll, Kyle Whittingham.
Pete Carroll wasn't part of the 12. But yeah, Pete Carroll would be up there.
Kyle Whittingham. Well, even though it was late.
Kyle Whittingham's kind of boring, though.
Okay. We don't. Jake Browning.
Jake Browning, obviously. You got to have Jake Browning. I mean, set the record for, it was what, 9-10 years in the league as a starting quarterback for the Washington Huskies? So he's obviously up there. I think just for pure, how do I pronounce his name value? Tyler Shrug.
Yeah.
I think having him in there would be important. The most Pac-12 player of all time, Khalil Tate. Could have him just talk about, everything.
Khalil Tate.
Who can forget those,
4 weeks? It literally was 4 weeks.
Cannot be stopped for 4 weeks until they fire their head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Eric says Bilotti.
Bilotti'd be fun.
And then guys that went on the analysts, like Neuheisel was an analyst too, covering the team. Yogi Roth.
Yogi Roth would be emceeing the Hall of Pac-12.
Yeah.
He would actually show up every single day to tour it around. He would give the same speech every single time.
I love it.
It would be live Yogi Roth.
Yeah. All right. Dave Young. I'm sorry to give your full name. First, he says, thanks for moving the podcast to 2 p.m. I assume you did this to accommodate me sitting in a brewery during the pod. They all open at 2 here. What beer should I drink during your podcast of champions? Oh, my God. And there's so the big picture. Dave hates IPAs. Pale Ale, American Brown Ale. Okay, I would go with this red, something red. What is it?
The Valkyrie Red?
Valhalla Vengeance. Oh, no, wait. Is that a Valhalla Red?
I'm seeing a Valkyrie Red.
Valkyrie Red. Okay. Yes, I would go Valkyrie Red. I'm a red ale person.
I might go a Zwickel Pilsner.
Okay.
You could go a Hell of a Hef. That could be good.
Yeah, I like those some. So he says both Minnesota and Washington are the 2 biggest states for Norwegian immigration. Why did the Big Ten refuse to let us play and start our rivalry? What is a good Viking theme name we should start referring to the rivalry as? And then he gives literally 40 examples. The first couple, the Battle of the Golden Jallarhorn or something.
There's an obvious answer.
We could make a golden Jallarhorn trophy to play for. I don't even know how to say that. The Skull Bowl.
There's an obvious
Lake
answer.
versus Ford.
You call it Ragnarok.
Ragnarok?
Yeah, you call it Ragnarok.
Oh, that's better than all the ones he has here.
Yeah.
He has a lot. Sound and Snowball, Norse Dog Showdown, Gold Rush on Whale Road, Row the Boat Raid. There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But what were the Ragnarok? I like
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Fraggle Rock?
Fraggle Rock. Fraggle Rock.
Down to Fraggle Rock.
Down in Fraggle Rock.
Mesro says Weiss beer always good in the summer. Yeah, I do. I like. People would make fun of me for the mango carts, but they're pretty good.
Yep. All right. Next up.
Yeah, you can do it.
This is from Matt. Question for the next pod. Hi, POC team. Love the show. As a Bruin outside of the Big Ten footprint, there's somewhere the footprint doesn't cover now. Your banter, which is abundantly mediocre, is a real treat. I have a question that I think the two of you are in the best position to address. Now that we've had a season of USC and UCLA in the Big Ten, does the crosstown rivalry feel more meaningful or less? I think there's arguments on both sides. On one hand, the 4 West Coast schools seem like the new kids with something to prove. I can even admit that some small part of me wants to see the other Pac-10 schools succeed in this environment. We're not allies in enemy territory, but something adjacent to that. It's like one of those movies where enemies have to team up against the greater threat. Side note, what's the best movie where this happens? On the other hand, there's a case that the rivalry is now even more intense. I don't care if we beat Northwestern or Michigan State nearly as much as I cared about UC Berkeley or Stanford. As a result, the USC game matters even more to me, and I assume the same is true for the UW-Oregon rivalry as well. Shoot, I now hate UW even more than I did in the past, though the recent recruiting battles are clearly part of that. What's your take?
I think to me that seemed more the same. Like that didn't.
Yeah, I didn't notice a huge impact.
No.
I wouldn't say I found myself rooting more. God, all the time. I just want to sit where I want to sit, Ryan.
You're just getting lazier and lazier, like leaning back off screen. Pretty soon it would just be showing the beautiful tunnel vision background.
Whatever. You interrupted me. It's I wouldn't even say I found myself rooting more for the individual Pac-12 teams than I did previously. Like when Oregon and Washington were playing non-conference games in the past, I was rooting for them.
Yeah, no,
and so am I going to root for them against all these like Big Ten interlopers? Yeah, probably, because it's the same. But it's like instead of Washington and Oregon playing 3 non-conference games a year, they're now playing 10. And so it's like, okay. Yeah, I can root for those teams in 10 games now.
Like, were you happy that Oregon won the Big Ten in the first year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like new kid on the block.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a movie where that, where
enemies team up to take on a greater threat.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, but thinking is not coming to me right now.
Like Independence Day, where like all
they're not
the
enemies though.
Well, like us and like Russia had to like.
No. I think it's like talking about like at like a individual level. Like these two people are like they hate each other and then they team up to fight something else.
Gotcha.
So
I'm sure there's examples of that. Put that in the chat.
Like hate each other in the context of the film, not like you have to interpret from your knowledge of world events.
Okay.
Because if you did that, you could go with The Martian, where the Russians and the Chinese and the United States all band together to bring the guy home from Mars.
Okay.
I don't know. Nothing's coming to me. There's something on the it's at the middle of my brain. I won't even say it's at the front of my brain.
It's like,
but it's there. I know there's something obvious I'm forgetting.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a good one. I like that. Dylan in Albuquerque has a podcast question. Ryan and Dave, putting aside the obvious favorites, who would be your sleeper team to win the Big Ten? My choice would be Signetti, the Killer, and Indiana. I do like Fernando Mendoza at quarterback. May not be a huge drop-off from Rourke. And from what I have read, they have plenty of returning players at key positions from last season. Cheers to under a month from the start of the season, Dylan in Albuquerque.
He knows the score. He gets the women. Signetti kills.
It depends on if you can classify them as a sleeper, but Michigan?
So we have the top 3, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, and then Michigan and Indiana are both 8.5. If he's going to take Indiana, then you could take Michigan, I would think. They're in the same sort of tier.
If you want a true sleeper, Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska would be a very, yeah. But you could go Illinois. I think anyone, if you did, so the teams that have 7.5 wins over under. Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, USC, Washington, even like a Minnesota. Like those are real sleepers, but you could also do, I think Indiana, Michigan could count too. But I mean, Michigan won the national title 2 years ago, so it can't really be a sleeper, I guess. But and Indiana won 11 games, so I don't know if that counts as a sleeper, but depends what you put out there. But I think it would have to be from that middle crew of Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, USC, Washington.
Yep, I agree.
And anyone else, obviously. Like if you thought UCLA was going to make a big jump, or Minnesota, or maybe Michigan State figures things out, whatever it is. I think those would be in that same deal. We have a voicemail. Here you go.
Hey guys, this is Kevin from Valley Glen. Look, you're the podcast of champions. You should be covering teams that could potentially be in the championship teams. So I say you guys cover all the Big Ten teams that are in the top 25. If you're not in the top 25, you don't get covered. And, of course, USC and UCLA, because you guys are homers. Anyway, love the podcast. Love living to you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Love it, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably cover like obviously the top teams, but if there's interesting stuff happening, if like Michigan
We're
State,
just not going to feel obligated to
Yes.
cover things that are boring.
if Michigan State and
shitty.
Rutgers had like an 8 overtime game, and like the blimp crashed, or we're covering it, right?
If
Like,
there's a new sinkhole in Purdue's end zone, we'll cover that.
yeah, we'll do it. Dog's Life in Portland has an example. He says Gamora and Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure, yeah, that'll work. I mean, there's actually several examples of this in the Marvel oeuvre.
Oh yeah,
Because you can also do from Thor Ragnarok, Loki and Thor.
aren't they like brothers?
Yeah, they're brothers,
But
but
they
they're
just don't like
enemies.
each other.
They're frenemies. They're bronemies.
Bronami.
Bronami fabulous
you.
he Alibaba.
Yeah, there's got to be other good examples and stuff too.
There are. I just my brain is not. It's not at that level today.
Do you ever? Midnight Run was one of my favorites. Like Grodin and De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't really have like a greater evil. Like they were like frenemies.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I really like that one a lot. Some of the old movies are so fun. Like
The Predator teaming up with humans to fight the alien.
Oh, okay.
I think that happens in Predator versus Alien, maybe. I
Maybe
don't
something
know.
like that.
I actually haven't seen the film. I'm just vibing.
Making it up. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay. We also, Survivor Pool. We got an email. Matthew's in the chat. So he asked hope that we were enjoying the debauchery of Vegas without him. We should have invited him, and he said we could be at that buffet right now at Caesars. Love it. Do we want to do another survival pool? Was his question. I think Dave, did you actually respond?
I
or was this-
responded to this, yeah.
Was it me responding? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and he said yes.
So we will have a Survivor pool.
Yeah.
We'll go over the rules later.
We go over the rules later.
Yeah.
He has them up there.
I know, but you're just going to be reading. We can just go over them succinctly later.
Okay.
It's
When-
also
when-
like we're a month out from even doing this.
When have we done something succinctly? Has there been an instance? Could you quote one?
No, I can't. I can't and I won't.
Sweet.
So basically the thing is, it's going to be a little bit different because last year, I want to say we ended too quickly. Wasn't it over super quickly?
I think it.
Or over for most people very quickly?
Yes. There was
So in weeks 1 through 3, you're going to pick 2 Big Ten teams each week to win. If both picks are correct, you will survive. If either pick is incorrect or fails to play, you are out. Starting week 4, you only need to pick 1 team. And that's it. And you can only pick the same team once.
Didn't we do it so you could pick loser? Like we had something like win, lose, or draw or something. Was there? What did we?
I don't remember.
It was something. It was something different, and I don't remember exactly what it was. Or challenging. Or do we have to pick a team to lose also? Like maybe that was it.
Maybe that's what it was last year.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I can't remember.
We said Dog's Life in Portland says the plot of every other episode of Walking Dead. I used to watch that all the time, and then I stopped. I guess, and then like the host of the after show got like creepy. Like there was some Me Too shit going on with him. Sorry, Griffin. You know. But I used to like that show, and then I just kind of didn't. It was just like a little enough. I like zombie stuff, though.
You're big on zombies.
I like zombies. My like uncle was like a real zombie, and not a real zombie, but he played a zombie, and because we're Western Pennsylvania, and that's where
Night of the Living Dead was shot.
yeah, like Romero, was it Romero?
Yeah,
Like
Romero.
yeah. So my uncle, who was like didn't know he was my uncle growing up. It was like my grandmother had a kid before she was with my grandfather, kind of thing, and then they found each other. But he was like one of the like principal, like he was like the main zombie, I guess, and then also got involved in directing and stuff. His daughter's out here in L.A. She works in the industry too, but
As a zombie?
no, she's like she's does some kind of director work. I don't know.
A Dog's Life in Portland asks us to rank zombie movies.
I mean, I love Zombieland.
Zombieland is good.
It's really good.
I liked the Dawn of the Dead that Zack Snyder did in 2004.
Okay. The 28 days, or what is it?
28 days, 28 weeks. I haven't seen 28 years.
I haven't done that either. I would need to go back and watch the other two.
I want to say I like 28 weeks more than I like 28 days.
World War Z, I like the book.
The book is a lot better than the movie. They made the movie very different.
Yeah, because the book was like telling it from all these different people's point of view.
Yeah, it was like a war novel.
Yes,
It was like
yes.
Studs Terkel, or Stephen Ambrose, or one of those. What else? I just watched. It's not like it's more of a. I watched Warm Bodies. Have you ever seen that?
No. I haven't seen
It's about a post-apocalyptic romance. It's like it's a play on Romeo and Juliet between a zombie and a human girl.
it. Okay.
Told mostly from the zombie's perspective. That was okay.
Eric says 28 years was good.
Yeah, I got to see it. I haven't seen it yet. That's probably one I will catch on a plane at some point.
I want to, yeah, but like when I do that, like I wanted to watch The Accountant too, but I forgot what happened in The Accountant, and went back and watched The Accountant. And I still haven't watched The Accountant too, but I feel like I need to. I don't remember what happened. And I
You
was
don't
like,
need to know what happens in an accountant movie.
No, but the brothers were in it, and I didn't realize that. I totally forgot that the brother was in that, and I think he's a big part of the second one. So like,
Yeah, it's a big part of the second one. But Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead.
okay.
That's up there.
What was the one that was like the real campy 80s, like Brains, where the guy's like, the zombie gets on the, that might be Night of the Living Dead or something. He's like, send more cops. Like the zombie's actually talking and like gets on the radio.
I don't remember.
One of those.
Well, I mean, there's Night of the Living Dead. There's Day of the Dead. There's Dawn of the Dead, the first one. I never loved any of those that much, but I'm not. The older horror stuff, it just looks all kind of cheesy to me.
Yeah, I just like apocalyptic ones.
I want to see what happens.
Yeah, but like what was the one? Oh, that's not zombie one. The Quiet Place.
Yeah,
That's
it's not zombies,
but like kind of
That's
cool.
Scary
like,
aliens.
yeah, scary aliens come down and.
That's another conversation. What's your favorite apocalyptic movie? Yeah, that's a tough one.
There's the one where they're Resident Evil franchises
Didn't watch any of those.
with what's her name?
Mila Jovovich.
She's a hottie. She might have been in this other one too. I forget the. It's like this family, like they just have a baby, and they look outside and like you don't know what the apocalyptic event is, but the husband just says, "Fill up the bathtub," and she goes, "I don't want to take a bath." He's like, "It's not for that," or something, or I'm not taking a bath, and it's basically like the world is ending. And then they fast forward to with kids like 10 years old, so he's only known like growing up in this like apocalyptic thing.
You mean The Road?
The Road, yes. Did you like that one?
Like is such a strong word for that. That's a tough watch, man. That's a tough watch.
It was. I kind of like some of the things where like there are people like the wife just walks out into she's just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I would definitely like do whatever you can to survive. Like, were you someone that would just be like, nope, I can't do my pedicures and hot yoga, so I'm just going to kill myself?
I wouldn't kill myself. I would just be dead extremely quickly.
No, you'd be all right.
I don't know.
Gil says, can't believe Dave says 28 weeks is better than 28 days. See, I don't remember. I need to watch them both.
I would need to watch 28 Days again. I watched 28 Weeks much more recently, and I enjoyed it. Let's see. What's the consensus viewpoint on this? Am I out of my gourd?
Maybe.
I don't know. They're both positive on Rotten Tomatoes.
They're both positive?
I don't know.
Oh, Wreck is a good one. It's from Spain and was remade in the U.S. called Quarantine. Interesting. Dun, dun, dun. Cool. All right. Well, that makes me go watch 28 Days and
Years.
It was 28 days, weeks,
And
then
years.
years. Okay. Is Years like on Netflix or something, or is it like?
It's still in theaters, I believe.
Okay. JBX. We'll go one last comment and we'll get you guys out of here. Thank you for the show. I'm listening from the airport while waiting for my flight. I just wrote you a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Now that's effective multitasking. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. JBK. Colt for the
Super chat.
Super chat. We love it.
Appreciate you all.
Love it all. Thank you all for watching and listening to our little show about the Big Ten Conference. For David Woods, I'm Ryan Abraham, and we will talk to you next time.
Goodbye.